Another revolver video. This is the Taurus 94. It's an older gun. Clear. It's an older revolver, but it's very fun to shoot. Everyone should have revolvers in their arsenal. Why, may you ask, are revolvers so important? Revolvers teaches you how to shoot. When I first started shooting, I used to do that flinch because of that explosion that's going on in your hand. How do you get out of this flinch? Even the best shooters I see do that flinch every time they pull the trigger. Clear. That's what you do because of that explosion. How I got over my flinch was through a revolver. What I did was I loaded maybe 3 bullets in without looking, turned the wheel, and closed the cylinder. Now, you don't know when the explosion is going to happen, so you focus on your form. Nothing, nothing, boom, you didn't flinch. Nothing, boom, you didn't flinch. When you don't know when the explosion is going to happen, it's hard to get in the habit of flinching. Plus, not this one, this is a 22 LR. By the way, most revolvers don't do this, but I find the 94 is cool. You could load 1 bullet, perfect for Russian roulette practice. But anyway, once you do not know when the explosion is going to go off, it becomes a surprise. And because it's a surprise, you do not flinch. A revolver got me out of a bad habit of flinching. And it's going to happen to most people. The only way to get out the flinching stage is to practice. And with a semi-automatic, you actually do not even realize you're doing it. It's subconscious. But once you start shooting a revolver and you do not load all the cylinders, you know exactly when you're gonna flinch. So my opinion, guys, if you find yourself having trouble hitting targets, or you're all over the target with your aiming, get a revolver. Do what I suggest. Plus, a revolver's trigger is so heavy that, trying to focus. See how the target doesn't move? With such a heavy trigger, it allows you to have strength in your finger to be able to pull that trigger. So when you're pulling any other trigger, it becomes easy. I took my pop shooting once, and this gun right here was the hardest for him to shoot. My man was like, every time he tried to pull the trigger. So made me realize that revolvers might be hard for beginners because of that heavy trigger, but if you keep practicing, it builds up that finger strength, and it also allows you to work on not flinching. While you cannot do that with a semi-automatic, because every pull of the trigger is an explosion. I used to try to dry fire with the semi-automatic, thinking that because I wasn't flinching on the dry fire, it would be the same thing at the range. But then I realized that even though I wasn't flinching dry firing, my brain still had me flinching while I was shooting. I only discovered that after I started shooting my revolvers. I saw I was flinching. Well, I could tell I was flinching because of the bullets were hitting the target low right, sometime low left. So I had a feeling I was flinching, and I went to the revolver to test that theory, and I was accurate. But this is my, I think, 5-inch. This is 6-inch. I don't know, I think it's 6-inch. 6-inch Taurus 94. Beautiful gun, but not a beginner's gun because the trigger is very heavy. Everything, even cocking back, is heavy. Everything about this gun is very heavy. I would guess this is like a 12 to 14 pound trigger. Look at this, very heavy. All right. Have a good night.